Ahead of a game 7 today here on Sunday, we are going to recap what happened to the Knicks, talk about all the excitement around the WNBA. Just kidding. This is your daily basketball recap. Today, here I'm joined with Max. Hi, Max. How you doing? My name is Levi Jacob, and let's just jump into it. I think what's correct is to talk about the elephant in the room, which is that Shlomo, he's not here with us today due to some time restrictions. At 6 a.m. my time, he's like, "Hey, do you want to record a podcast now?" And then I didn't respond for 2 hours because I'm thankfully not up at 6 a.m. My kids sleep great hours. That being said,
kids to do that. That would be really nice.
I will say that we wanted to wait for Shlomo to talk about what happened in Game 6 with the Knicks Celtics, but just time won't allow us. I think we should start off with Knicks won. Going to the Eastern Conference Finals, big deal. Everyone played great.
Yeah. On the Knicks side, Cal Bridges, 22 points, 9 of 15 shooting, plus 25. OG Anunoby, 23 points, 9 rebounds. Karl Anthony Towns, 21 points, 12 rebounds. All of these guys, 25 plus from the plus minus. Jalen Brunson, 23, 6 and 6 on 8 of 14 shooting. Josh Hart with the classic Josh Hart, 10 points, 11 rebounds, 11 assists. And then on the Celtics side, Jaylen Brown, who we'll get into this, apparently was playing with a partial meniscus tear for a while now. 20 points, 6 rebounds, 6 assists, 7 turnovers, and minus 30 from the floor. This one, to me, is the craziest one. Derek White, minus 45 from the floor. 8 points, 2 assists, 1 rebound, 1 steal, 3 of 11 shooting. I mean, nobody on the Celtics really showed up. Yeah.
There's some late game late game attempts from Peyton Pritchard to kind of, try and bring them back from oblivion, whatever you want to call it. There's a lot of big questions for the Celtics teams to answer in the offseason at this point, especially with now officially partially torn meniscus from Jaylen Brown. I always have a hard time entirely understanding, especially the beginning of this season. Like, what does that mean for some time? You know what I'm saying? Like, especially at the beginning of this series, why did you need to have Jaylen Brown playing alongside Jason Tatum when you were the absolute assumed favorite? Like, what's the point? Give him the rest that he needs, It's weird. It's very weird, but I hope that I would like everybody to stay healthy, be better. I think that's better for competition. So hopefully he can recover and be better soon.
Honestly, to me, I really don't understand it from, let's say, a football perspective. In football, you have to put down everyone's injury on the injury report or else you get fined.
Yeah.
So I don't know why it's not the same within basketball, but also, like you said, I didn't even think of that point of towards the end of the season, why is he even playing? Just give him the rest or get him something I did read he was getting some injections in his knee over the last, you mentioned before also, it was on air, off air about LeBron, all of a sudden he has something also of just, hey, how do people not know about this? And why is it not being reported? Like, everything is known about all of these players and their like deeply personal lives, but we don't know that they're playing with like a meniscus tear.
I'm very interested to find out, like, as far as Porzingis as well. Like, they kept talking about, he has this illness. No one put a name to it. I would like to know, again, with him, I hope that he's healthy. They said that he's been dealing with it for like the past 2 months. Ultimately, when you have a star player go down with an Achilles tear, right, and Jason Tatum, to then still be playing Jaylen Brown on a partial meniscus tear, like, I don't know. It's just it's a hard story for me to fathom and fully understand why. Like, they weren't still thinking that they were going to win the finals, probably, at least, with everything going on with them. So like what's the point of putting more of their stars at risk?
Weren't you in the playoffs? You can't not try.
But there is mitigating potential further injury. Yeah. Derek White, again, like you said, was notably not the same Derek White that we've seen throughout this season and last season. I think if you're watching the game, as you saw, the Knicks have despite their disorganized nature, they have a lot of weapons on defense. This game, the weapons on offense also came to play, and they really showed out. The Garden was loving it. Everyone was having a great time, and they did what they should have done, which is why it was such a big shock last game. But it's happened sometimes when you're kind of expecting, okay, we're the favorites now. This is it. This gave them the chip on the shoulder they needed, and now they get to go play against the Pacers, who they lost to last year. So. Yeah. It's going to be a fun series. It's going to be a very fun series. We're going to do predicting for that. We're going to be predicting for that tomorrow with Shlomo. Hopefully, who knows? I know, but hopefully with Shlomo, we're gonna wait to do proper predicting for round 2, because by then also Game 7 of Oklahoma City and Denver will be decided, which we can move into the predictions for. Max, what are your feelings on this upcoming game tonight?
I think the first place you have to start is what's the status of Aaron Gordon. And when you look at his regular season stats, you're kind of saying, okay, 14 points a game, a couple rebounds, a couple assists. It's like, okay, what's the big deal? Throughout these playoffs, he's been obviously Jokic is the guy, but Aaron Gordon has been the glue for this team. He's had multiple game winners. His energy, both on offense and on defense. I think I saw in the playoffs, he's averaging like 18 and 7, shooting almost 40% from three. He's such a key component to their team to add an athletic, two-way, 6'9", 6'10", and athletic player going against all of OKC's depth. And it's hard for me to ever say that Jokic can't do it, because he's just proven time and time again that he keeps doing it. OKC, I'm not so impressed. Like, I would have wanted them to just shut this out from the very beginning. That being said, I don't know how Denver can really overcome Aaron Gordon not playing in this game. And for that, I have to go OKC.
Yeah, as far as you said with the not being impressed, it's very interesting because this is part of what I was talking about to Sean last week, is that the method that OKC found was, okay, so then Jokic is going to score all the points, and that's how they won game 5. Game 6, you can see it was just more evenly distributed. You see also Jokic's pass, not his assist ratio, because the assists were like a little bit lower than what he usually does, but more so like passing to the open man, trying to get his teammates involved. That really propelled them to being able to win that game. With Aaron Gordon, he's been hitting a lot of the open, like they leave players up on the perimeter because they know they have to guard Jokic on the inside, and Russell Westbrook and Aaron Gordon, they've been leaving open. Aaron Gordon has been hitting those threes, making them have to come out farther to guard him. Russell Westbrook, different story. It depends on the series that we're talking about, but in this series particularly, Aaron Gordon has been really able to do that, especially with a really clutch 3 at the end of game 5. I want to say brought them really close. They lost still, but he's been putting in the work. He's also been a really effective roaming and point of attack defender for them. He's been like Aaron Gordon going all out. He's all over the floor. He's all over. Really, if you watch it back, you can see Jalen Williams was really, really affected last game a lot by the defense of Aaron Gordon. I really think that was a very big contributing factor to his poor performance last game. He's doubtful, right? He might play, but if you saw him, he was kind of limping around on the court game 6 at the end of the game. It looked like the same thing that like Steph was going through a little bit. I find it hard to believe that he's going to be back for this game. Again, you never want to count out the Nuggets just because of how many X factors they have, but it's a big loss for them to have Aaron Gordon out this game potentially. Either way, even if he was playing, it's difficult with a young team like this, right? To be the assumed favorites, because they also have such a lack of experience. But the truth is that also, if you like, the answer isn't next season then to blow it up and figure out what pieces you have, whatever, because they are the on average youngest team in the NBA. That's a crazy stat to be a team that's favored for the finals, you know. But they need to get back to their roots a little bit. They need to play the basketball they've been playing this whole season. I think I said this to Sean on Friday, is that the Nuggets are the perfect storm of complications for them to have to deal with. Their roster is like optimized for so many different situations. This is one of the situations that they didn't want to have to see in the playoffs.
Right there is optimization. Like, SGA is he playing to necessarily the degree that we've been seeing in the regular season? No, not necessarily. I think he's not playing, shooting over 50% from the field. He's averaging like 28 points a game in the series. But as much as we're saying Aaron Gordon is the X factor here has to be Jalen Williams. Like, he has been so bad this series. And it's not just last game. I was pulling up his stats before, and I'm looking. He's playing 36 minutes, shooting 33% from the field, 21% from 3. And when he's a guy that you're counting on for 20-plus points, efficient scoring, playing all-around game, he's just not doing it. Now, it could be because of Aaron Gordon. So then maybe the X factor of Aaron Gordon affects the X factor of Jalen Williams. But without him, SGA could put up 45, and it won't matter because Jokic could do that. Jamal Murray could do that. They need Jalen Williams to step up. And if he doesn't, that to me is going to be, I said before, Aaron Gordon is the deciding factor as I'm thinking about it a little more, because in life, you're allowed to change your mind. Jalen Williams is, to me, the X factor, and how he plays will determine if OKC wins or not. I still think they will win, because I think the piece of Aaron Gordon is really big, but Jalen Williams has to step up.
Yeah. It's also hard to keep in mind that he's a third-year player, you know? Like, he does. You're not wrong. It's really the lack of experience is really showing for this team, I think. And I'm also really looking for their bench to step up. Like, their bench, they had guys. Isaiah Joe has been like borderline just like kind of not played throughout the series, like not in the Isaiah Joe minutes, and he's like been one of the NBA's premier 3-point shooters in terms of percentage. Their bench needs to step up. I think that they will. I think that this team, like when they get into pressure-filled situations, you see that they really can step up. But it's been a very, very really hard-fought series. on both sides of the floor. And I think that OKC will win. It's also a little bit of a bias. I also really want them to win, but I also think that they will. I think that they will ultimately.
I would not be surprised at all to wake up tomorrow to Shlomo doing a Jokic's awesome corner and going off, and it wouldn't be surprising at all. It's really, the Nuggets have been such a fascinating story throughout these playoffs, and Jokic himself, it's going to be a fun game. And also, we'll be able to like actually watch it because it's at a normal time for us. So.
I'm looking forward to also just projecting into the next series, the next round of either Wolves versus Nuggets or Thunder is going to be awesome, and I'm really excited for it.
I'm trying to contain myself. I really am, but this is something that we've talked about offline, and we'll see if we want to go into it now. But I know you kind of, for all those that don't know, Legend Slayer, Anthony
Legend Killer
was started by Levy Jacob right here. So everyone give the props where it deserves. The idea to me is just so dumb. And this isn't about you. This is about like the level that this has taken off, and like every series he wins, it's like, oh my God, he is like, first of all, I don't even think he's been the best player on his team this playoffs.
Right.
So that's number one. Number two is he's beating teams, especially this past series, where like, don't give me that he beat Steph Curry. He didn't beat Steph Curry.
Right.
He didn't beat him. And this whole like aura that he has, and like you'll see the Barack Obama like video from like
the Court of Gold.
Court of Gold. I was gonna say Redeem Team, but Court of Gold, and like just like he's very good, and he's probably gonna be, if not the best player, top 2 or 3 for the next bunch of years. But I feel like this is getting overblown, and until he like establishes that I am clearly the man running the ship over Julius Randle in these playoffs, I can't get behind this idea of like, he's the legend killer, he's the legend slayer. Like, he's fun, he's awesome, the highlights are unbelievable, and he's definitely better.
Yeah.
I don't see it.
So a few notes. More than the highlights, I think the interviews are the best. I love the interviews. He gives great interviews. He's so funny.
Hilarious. He's a
yeah. He's the guy.
Yeah, the guy.
All credit where it's due. Also, just to be clear, I didn't start the legend killer thing. I was just give him the 06 Randy Orton moniker because of what his play in the last the last few years and earlier these playoffs. This past series, I agree with you. I don't think it's appropriate. He didn't kill the Warriors. Julius Randle killed the Warriors, which is a little bit shameful. But he's the primary option. Julius Randle. Like that's where I have like a little bit of a belief in like maybe he isn't the new face of the NBA, because like the new face of the NBA isn't doing, like, he pulled a Dwayne Wade when LeBron went to Miami and he was like, I'll step aside. Like, you're friggin' Anthony Edwards, you're 23 years old. Like, don't, no. Like, we want to watch you dominate the game of basketball. So Julius Randle's been playing awesome. But in order to really earn it, I need him to, like, he didn't take them out, It wasn't him that did it. So but moving forward, like if they do play the Nuggets again and they take out the Nuggets, like then okay, like like then he can get back on the streak.
What I really am hoping for, though, as much as I don't particularly like either team, it would be so fun to have a Wolves Knicks NBA championship, and just that trade, and like Cat and Randall and going at each other, and like just amazing storylines. It would be so much fun.
We want to move on to a little positive, cool little note that Max found. So I'll let him take it away.
Yeah, I saw this and I was just like, this is so cool. It's not to say that it's never happened before, but nothing like just like comes to mind. I'm sure we could chat GPT it and like find something, but
or we make it up.
Yeah, we're gonna make it up. I'm just gonna make it up. This is the first time ever in history this has ever happened, but the Trailblazers are for sale, Levy, if you're interested. And the Paul Allen estate, through his directive, is saying that from the sale of the team, all of the proceeds are going to be going to philanthropic endeavors. And just the idea of having like billions of dollars from like this NBA team that's being sold, normally it would just go from like, and this is fine. This is capitalism. You have some wealthy people that are selling it to other wealthy people, and the other wealthy person now just makes a lot of money, and like that's fine, and that's how it works. But this idea that he's just going to be giving away all the money is pretty cool. And I just let's spread some positivity out into the world, and it's cool stuff.
Very cool. All right, that was the daily basketball recap. By the way, newly renamed daily basketball recap. Belmo, I want to thank you for regularly being on the podcast. Now I get to this. Is a lot of fun. I want to thank you for being a great guy, Shlomo. I want to thank you for, just really making this all happen. You are the standard. We are the flag bearers now, and whenever you want to come back, we're waiting for you. I want to thank you, Max, for joining me today. Also for that cool note. I think it's a lot of fun. I want to thank you to the Knicks for making the NBA season fun. This is a lot of a lot of negative press going on right now, but it's made it a lot more interesting. I want to thank you, OKC, for hopefully winning tonight. I want to thank you guys for listening.